Hi, here are two new books for the Green Elementary Library with a 5th grade rating on the AR system and a 6th grade level reading on the AR system. The 5th grade book is entitled The Treasure of Mad Doc McGee by Eleanor Teal. And here's a little snippet. The small rundown town of Eden is the only place Jelly Burns has ever called home. The roots of the trees are in her bones. The air of the mountains is in her breath. The lakes and rivers are in her blood. And that's why, when her father loses his job and tells Jenny that they may have to move on from Eden, she knows she can't let that happen. The fever of New Zealand's central Otago gold rush still runs in the veins of Eden. And everyone knows the legend of Doc McGee, how he found the largest gold nugget anyone had ever seen and hid it somewhere in the hills before he disappeared. Jenny and her best friend, Pandora, know that if they can find the gold, it'll solve all their problems. But the way is fraught with mysteries, riddles, and danger, and those are just the threats they know about. Before her quest is over, Jenny will have to face challenges from within as well as from without. So that was the 5th grade AR selection, uh, The Treasure of Mad Doc McGee by Eleanor Teal. Now, the 6th grade selection is actually a nonfiction selection because it's a true story, and it's The Promise of Change. And here's a little snippet. When 14-year-old Joanne Allen and 11 other African American students walk into Clinton High School on an August morning in 1956, they know they are walking into history. They've been told they are the very first students to integrate a public high school in the American South. What they don't know is how treacherous their journey will be. Their eastern Tennessee town is a courteous, yes ma'am, no sir kind of place, where blacks and whites seem to get along. But something darker lurks beneath the civility in Clinton, and when outside agitators interfere, local whites' muffled objections turn to unrestrained bigotry and violence. Soon, even the Clinton 12 themselves wonder whether they should just return to their old school. As the desegregation crisis makes headlines across the country, Joanne, clear-eyed, practical, tolerant, and popular, finds herself in the spotlight as a spokesperson for the group. But that's not the only life she wants. She also wants to focus on music, friendships, and of course, her education. This is the heartbreaking and relatable story of an extraordinary trailblazer fighting for civil rights and for their right to be an ordinary teenager. So this is the 6th grade rated book, The Promise of Change, One Girl's Story in the Fight for School Equality by Joanne Allen Boyce and Debbie Levy. So I hope you enjoyed these new selections to the elementary library.